Day 3 of Western States Training Camp. We're here at Placer High, the legendary track, one that this guy is very familiar with. Rod Farvard, how are you doing?
Doing well. Finish up day 3. Got some course recon in.
As if you've never run it before?
As if I've never run it before. I was out there today, and I was like, kind of over this trail. But
you gotta do this again?
Yeah. But it's a good place to be. I think can't get more familiar than that.
Yeah, so obviously you've had some great races here, some not so great races. In your career, when you talk about Western States, what brings you back here? I mean, I know that you obviously had a great second place finish last year, a good battle with Jim, and then ultimately also Hayden Hawks decided to join the battle late into that. Why come back to Western States?
I feel like I still haven't done Western States correctly. I think that's like the thing of the core that brings me back. It's such having like one race to really focus on year after year. It becomes like a very easy way to see how you've progressed. Once you start doing like a bunch of different races, it's hard to see if like you're getting better. And I think getting better is what motivates me the most in the sport, and Western States is always just like a benchmark for me to see where I'm at. And with the fields getting more and more competitive every year, you really get to see where you're at compared to the best runners in the world. And yeah, that's really at the core, and that's what's brought all these other things about the race to me. Just the community and everyone I know here in Auburn now, and the hype around the race. It's all really inspiring and motivating, and it's something you want to be a part of.
Yeah, so speaking of getting better, you're someone who does things very intentionally. You train very, very like fervently with an intention, with a purpose. What's something that you learned last year at Western States that you're taking into training this year that you really want to kind of like hone in on?
Yeah, the big thing that I felt like I was missing last year was being able to climb late stage in the race. Where that's translated in our training, I think, I don't really question the training I'm doing. I really listen to my coach and everything. So, but just things I'm seeing, we're doing a lot more uphill-based intervals at different intensities, at different grades, and being really specific about them. We are also doing a lot more heat training, and the more heat adapted you can be, hopefully that translates to being able to push later in the race. And trying some new things out with nutrition too. But yeah, it's all in the pursuit of figuring out the puzzle of this day.
Yeah, well, you kind of mentioned the level of competition towing the line this year. I think arguably this is going to be the most competitive Western States in terms of elite level talent that's towing the line. The number of potential runners who can win this race, who can top 10 this race, has grown dramatically over the years. You've obviously put yourself in that mix. Is there somebody that you haven't raced with yet, or that you're looking forward to racing with the most on race day?
Yeah, I not necessarily, honestly. With all due respect to all the runners in the field, like all these runners are incredible. And like it's not something to take lightly, but the headspace I'm trying to get in that I think will enable me to have the best race is to come into it with a blank slate for myself, for every runner that's lining up. Like I can't be thinking about what some of these people have done in the past, like what their pedigree has, who has won the race previously, what times people have run, because I just personally I don't respond well to that. Like I need to level myself with these runners, and I know there are people that have been in the sport longer than me, have been at the top of the sport longer than me, and I can't let that narrative get in my head to make me believe that I can't be there with them. So, I'm trying to put on a black ski mask on everyone's face and pretend like everyone is the same running, and just be able to do what I need to do on the day.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Is that kind of what dictated your year last year? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard this, but nobody has ever beaten Jim to Forest Hill before. This is the first time in his life that he reached Forest Hill not with a 20-minute plus lead on anybody, and you were right there making them push hard. And I think that's a testament to kind of how you race with blinders on. You have your best day. Is that how you plan on racing this year? Where are you just going to put the blinders on and do Rod's best work and run Rod's race all day? Or are you going to try to match with everybody?
Yeah. I think what actually cost me the race last year was that last pass Jim made on me between Green Gate and ALT, and just being like, okay, it's Jim. He can go. Like I felt like I didn't necessarily earn my way to win this race quite yet, and I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like I can run step for step with whoever it is that's making that last pass on me. So yeah, I want blinders. It's easier said than done, like these are guys that I've looked up to my whole career. But I'm trying to be really intentional about not letting the names or figures influence what happens when we're in it. Like if I'm feeling good, I should respect that and push. If I'm not feeling good, yeah, I don't deserve to win the race. So
yeah, no, I love that. That's a very real approach to racing that day, and I think that's what it takes to do well at Western States, because you have so many things thrown at you. It's a fast-paced race. You've got to have everything fairly dialed in. But let's change gears a little bit and talk about the fun that Western States Training Camp is. It's one thing that I've not known a whole lot about you, is just how much of a goofball you are and how much you love to have fun. As much as serious as you take training, as serious as you take racing and running and your career in the sport, you also really seem to enjoy yourself out there running with everybody. What's the Western States Camp vibe been like this year?
Yeah, I need to say more people need to come to this. More elites need to come to this. It's, I feel like people are trying not to show their cards a lot this year, and everyone knows what the other person's doing. Like no one's doing anything secret, and
no one's really hiding their Stravas these days.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you have the opportunity to come out, it's a great way to connect with the community. For me personally, it's stuff like this that really lifts me up when things get hard in the race. Like remembering that volunteer I met at training camp who works at this certain aid station, seeing their face at that aid station, having that connection with someone that's telling you good job. Like you hear so many good jobs throughout the day and so much inspiring words throughout the day, but to actually remember who that person is who's telling you that, and like have a sort of bond or connection with them from community events like this, that's something that gives me a boost. It's like a little caffeine boost, to be honest. So I think I need I love doing stuff like this, and I love being myself, and myself is a goofball and someone who likes to be social. So,
I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, those are like, I didn't know we were going to get so deep today. I feel like we Rich rolled it just for a second there. But no, the other thing I want to talk about is that it sounds like you kind of earned yourself a nickname from some of the long trail crew here. You want to tell us about that?
I don't know. What's our viewer audience?
I'll tell you what the nickname I was going to give you was Hot Rod.
Okay.
I think Hot Rod's a fairly good trail name for you. You're fast. You're also, I mean, look at you. You're hot. I think we can go with Hot Rod.
I'll take that one. Yeah.
You'll take that one over the other one?
Yeah. The other one was skid marks, and I don't know. I won't tell the backstory, but you guys can let your imaginations go wild. That was from String Bean himself. So
yeah, I mean, if you're getting a name from String Bean or Tara Dower, you've earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the long trail people are amazing. It's just like this whole other side of the sport, and hearing the experiences that they've gone through out there. It's a different level of inspiration, and they've experienced the whole human experience by doing these things and letting their mind go to places. And I see that for my future as well. And I love the characters that are, trying to bridge the gap between racing fast here and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think Joe and Tara both have proven, when people are like, oh, those are, they're long trail guys, they're not going to be able to like hang with these fast races. But both of them earned their tickets at an incredibly fast Black Canyon this year.
Yeah, definitely.
And like they have a pedigree that like will prove that they're good at long, short, fast, all of it,
Yeah.
which is awesome and inspiring to see the sport grow into so many different. We just sat down with Des Linden, and she's talking about her coming into the sport now.
Yeah.
It's the trail running sport has grown tremendously. Now I've been in this for a very long time. I've been in the I think I've been ultra running since like 2010, something like
Yeah.
that. So been a while for me in this sport, and to see it grow. You have kind of a younger career
Yeah.
here in the sport. What brought you into trail and ultra running?
Yeah. Oh man. What brought me into it? I had a history with endurance. I was a triathlete in college, and I was doing Ironman racing post college, and then I it's kind of a very boring story, but I started working full time, and I didn't really have time to train for 3 sports at a high level, so I just went back to running, and I'd moved to San Francisco at the time. Trails are amazing there in Marin County, and kind of fell in love with it. I was training a lot in Santa Barbara before I moved to, so I've just been lucky enough to live in places with inspiring terrain to trail run, and competition has always been a part of my blood growing up. And yeah, I just figured I was somewhat decent at it, and it made me unique. And I think I've always been searching for something that can make me feel different from people.
Well, you definitely are a little different, but we love you out here in the sport. Anyways, okay, so just a couple last questions for you. You mentioned kind of where you come from, Santa Barbara, Marin. You're now up in Mammoth, correct?
Yep.
How's it like being up there? You've got like a nice little trail community up there. You've got some really, really great athletes to train with. I know Tim is one of your good buddies. Is he going to be outpacing you again this year?
He will be, yeah. Yeah, I think he will be going from Forest Hill to the finish, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, having someone like him, the samurai himself,
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome to have. It was fun watching you. Obviously, I followed you last year with the cam down Cal Street, and it was just a pleasure to watch you do your work out there. And you and Tim seem to work really well.
Yeah.
What's it like having someone like that who just knows you so incredibly well? And I imagine there's a level of trust where you turn your race over to Tim to a certain degree, and you just let him kind of take the reins and pull you along.
Yeah. And so much trust was built last year. There's some pacers who respect how you're feeling, and they just want to get you there feeling good. And then there's other pacers that know how to push your buttons, and they remember the goals that you have set for yourself, and they hold you accountable to them. Tim is the latter for me. There's a funny story of us on top of Roby Point. We had just crested the climb. I had another pacer with me, Chris Brown, who did amazing work to get me there, but he had to swap out with Tim. So Tim was taking me in the last mile, and he asked me if I wanted to push it and go for Jared Hazen's time, who had the second fastest time at States at the time. And I was feeling terrible, like I was in complete survival mode. And I told him I really did not care about that point. I just wanted to get to the finish in this last mile. And initially Tim was like, okay, that's fine. And then he turned around with half a mile to go and saw a charging Hayden Hawks coming. And he gave me the most tough love I think I've ever had from someone, telling me he does not give an F about how I feel in this moment, and we gotta go. And like there's no way I'm gonna be able to live with myself if we got caught here. So he really turned it on for me, and that's what produced that sprint finish everyone's calling. And and I trust him now to really squeeze that last bit out of me. And yeah, I want to get to that level of complete death.
It basically gave you the, hey, you asked for this kind of situation. And when you put someone like that in the range, you got to be able to just sit behind and say, okay, like, I know what they're going to do for me. And that it speaks to the relationship that you guys have and the trust you have. Now, you've gone through Western States Training Camp. You've put yourself in this position. How do you foresee race day going for you? Have you done any of visualizations out there on the course?
I have, yeah. I have a lot. I've been thinking like since last year about what's gonna happen this year, and the big thing that I think will be different this year is it's not just gonna be me and Jim coming into Forest Hill together. I think the way we're seeing the sport go and what more people are doing is shooting their shot, and I think it might not be like shoulder to shoulder, but I think there will be a pack of 10, 15 men coming into Forest Hill within a couple minutes of each other, and it truly being anyone's race from there. So all I want to do truly, like, you obviously I want to win the race. Okay, like everyone wants to win the race, but all I can really tell myself is my primary goal is to give myself a chance to win the race. So I want to be up there making moves, maybe not making moves, but like covering moves and being in it and like responding and not telling myself, oh, they'll come back, oh, you need to like take care of yourself. All that's in the background, but like I want to have that edge in me that is treating this like, it's a 5K and people are racing and you got to cover moves to stay in it, because I think that's what it's going to take to give yourself a shot to win. So.
Speaking of moves, where do you see the final move of the race happening this year?
Roby Point.
You think it's going to be Roby Point?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. We will leave it here. Hot Rod, you got 5 weeks between now and race day. I hope you're feeling ready. You looked fantastic out there. I'm excited to see you do what you do on this course. It's going to be another fantastic year. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in 5 weeks.